Finally, breaking ground on the new South Harmon Stadium. We're glad you're here today.
All of those who doubted me, you see like nothing. Today it is the day you bow. A book is time to shine.
They're at our doorstep. They're gonna break in. We've gotta go now.
I'm getting spooky tonight. Hey.
Run, 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 run.
We go round the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, we all fall
Down.
You can smell fear in the distance, spring over their lives. Come on, those who better witness them.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, Joe, right up there, bring the twins back.
Bring twins back, buddy. How you doing tonight, my friend? You ready to go?
It's been a hell of a day, man. Spent most of it at work. You know?
Well, listen.
It is what it is.
This technically also is work, but we're let's go.
No work here.
Let's go is a comment from Soggy Danger. We've got what's good, everybody, and Mike. Let's just go ahead and why don't we fire up the hologram? What do you think? Let's tell Cam to
Turn her
turn
on,
this bitch
man.
on. You know.
Something with
like the
hologram.
twins.
Power on.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Mike, I'll tell you, for certain people, it felt like they got powered on this week. Certain people, it felt like, it kind of felt like it was off, frankly, kind of like this, and this is one of the themes, man, for the year has just been when the bye weeks have happened. It's been some ugly football games, honestly. Mike, if you were to work one day, honestly, this would probably be the day. Frankly, for me anyway. There were some good blow-ups, some good games, but a lot of football that's worth missing. I guess we could, start at the top with the Browns like we normally do. It's actually a win for the Cleveland Browns, Mike, but I don't know, dude. It just feels so gross, this game versus the Dolphins. What do you even make of this shit, man?
Well, it was gross, but it was a win. It's just really gross because, you're a Cleveland fan. Like, you feel bad about your Browns almost every single year.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're not a Dolphins fan.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was, somewhat a game at halftime. And then it got louder and louder. I thought it was going to be silent. Dude, Quinchon, though, is the man. Can I tell you what's crazy, man? A lot of my friends bet on the over and touchdowns for Quinchon and props. Lost by the hook today, buddy. 84.5. He has 70 at halftime. Goes for 84.
Oh, no.
Only 14 in the second half is kind of crazy when you think about the game script, but he goes for 3 touchdowns. Absolute monster day for Quinchon. Honestly, though, the rest of this team you kind of just don't care about, frankly.
No, I did give somebody a deep play to play Isaiah Bond this week, and nice of him to not show up in the box score at all.
I was going to say, I'm sitting here looking, and there he isn't, there he isn't.
No. Are we sure he even played? Did he dress? Did you see him out there?
What I will say is if he was out there, I didn't see him. Now, doesn't mean that he wasn't, but I didn't see him do anything today, honest to God.
Hey, Quinshawn. That's about all we got to talk about on this game. The entire game was just Quinshawn. Nice 46-yarder, too. That was a nice touchdown run, man.
Yeah, he showed up the high end speed that we saw at the combine, right?
Which we didn't really believe because we didn't think he really had it,
Right.
all throughout his college career. But, the weird point that I made, me and Xbox made this, maybe when you're trucking fuckers every single time, like you're a little bit tired, you don't got them legs to run fast past everybody, but
Hey.
you sure look like you got the legs.
The Eagles got to see the Eagles in person. That's the next game we're going to get to. Yeah, he does. Second half, just interesting the way in which it went down. Again, he didn't have much on the ground in the second half. The team didn't do shit in the second half, but they also scored on the defensive side of the ball. So it was Quinshawn touchdown, defensive side of the ball touchdown. Honestly, Mike, I think the crazy part is while the Browns scored 31, it basically all was amounted to Quinshawn. We can save the rest of the holograms personally. And, Mike, I think we can go to, at
No
this
need
point,
to waste the battery power on anybody else.
No. But here's the unfortunate part of this, Mike. It was bad weather, all right? So much so that I called Mike while he was at work and just said, hey, I'm not sure we're going to do a stream today. We didn't have internet for half the day. But, Mike, we got internet back. Dude, this is correct if you're just looking and you didn't watch the game. 1 catch for 15 yards for Jalen Waddle. Mike, someone explain this to me. Tua has 100 yards. He throws 3 picks. Why are we not force-feeding the ball to Jalen Waddle like it was his rookie season?
Some coaches just aren't very good at getting their stars involved, right? And force feeding them, right? Does
Jacob Swap
McDaniel
scores a touchdown here?
Does McDaniel make the plane ride back? Like, are we convinced he's actually on this plane?
Well, dude, I mean, here's the question to me: if it's not McDaniel that's the problem, is Tua? Mike, you throw 3 picks, you can't go for 100 yards, basically 50% completion, and turn the football over all the time.
3.4 to QBR. That's not good.
Dude, this team, holy Santa Claus shit, buddy. Honestly, it's yikes.
Thank God for a 46-yard run from Achane just to kind of salvage his day.
Right. He doesn't get to blow up. Honestly, with this team, I don't know if he's fired relative to the rest of the team. But, Mike, to your point, I think anyone and everyone on this team can be fired. They paid Waddle the contract. I think the way that the receiver position's viewed, they may not want to move him. Everybody else, I think it could be a fire sale, honestly, for this team, though, while there is fire on Achane, right?
Literally sell everyone. Sell everyone. Waddle included.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time for a big change of scenery here for this team.
Massive reset. Man. Yep. Yeah.
And that's true, too. Govnick says, listen, that was a really weird speech by Tua last week. Like, I get it from him. I know his, demeanor a lot of times. That's just, even if your teammates are letting you down, you just don't air it in public. Really, you just don't. It just looks bad. It looks way worse on you to do that, frankly. So
even if you do, it's on you as the quarterback. You're the leader. It's your watch.
Exactly.
It's your watch. You know what I mean? It's like the manager of Burger King coming in and going like, "This place is a fucking zoo. I can't work with any of these." Well, it's on you, boss. You manage this motherfucker.
Right. It's not like rookies. It's not like Tua's a rookie or some shit, right? This is literally, you're the seasoned vet supposed to be. So let's go to a much better and finer day. Mike, let me just tell you this blow up here, courtesy of my bench again on your Idiot League Mates. I'm kind of defining that league name, frankly, at this point.
Pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, also pretty good at this not coming up, which is hard to understand. But while that's not coming up, maybe I can get this one coming up. There it is. All right. A.J. Brown, buddy, had a hell of a day. Hell of a day.
Yes, he did.
What do you make of today? I know you didn't maybe get to watch all of it, but did you get to watch some of it?
Got to watch some of it.
Okay.
And it was the Vikings made it pretty apparent they weren't going to let Saquon be the reason that they lost this game, which is, for most teams, this has been a pretty good game plan against the Eagles all season because we just can't figure out how to get our passing game going. Surprise, surprise. We figured it out. Figured it out. What I love most is Isaiah Rodgers has been great for the Vikings. He was good for us last year. He was great. He's been great for the Vikings all year. A lot of talks about, how he's an idiot for letting this guy go. We can't fix our cornerback 2 spot. they fucking picked on him and picked on him and picked on him and would not fucking stop.
No.
You know that meme? You know, stop, he's dead already.
Stop, he's already dead. Is yeah, that's how it felt. I mean, honestly, the other thing too at the end there, Jalen Hurts kind of really let him run under the football, which is the way you want to err, honestly. But felt like he, left a touchdown out there possibly for AJ Brown too, who was just wide open down the sideline.
Right.
Dude, this can I tell you what makes it so frustrating though about having players on this team is just I think at this point you kind of just have to lock them into your lineup, especially after seeing today. Now going into today, it's like, dude, I just don't know if they're going to throw the ball today, and most of the times you're kind of convinced they won't. But you see that they have the capability, which makes it even more infuriating. Like, what the hell do you even say about this?
Good news. With all the injuries and all the buys going on right now and all the, poor play going around, a lot of people probably did enjoy actually having A.J. Brown in their lineup because they just didn't have any other fucking choices. I know some of the choices I had to make this week, it was like, Travis Hunter, welcome to the lineup, even though you haven't done fuck.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you just got to put that kind of guy in.
All right, now it comes up, and it doesn't blow up, so... This is supposed to be a blow up for Smitty, and this was the one that I sat, Mike, in your idiot league mates, which he went bananas, absolutely bananas, Mike. 33 of them things.
Wide receiver 2 on the week, only trailing what legendary Jamar Chase did on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at it, obviously, again, this is the player. When you see today again, I think it's just a simple. You just got to keep him in your lineup no matter what. But, man, you look at his game log, and it's basically what's crazy. Think about this, Mike. You go to it and just check this out. If you didn't watch any football, didn't think about how he tore it up today, honestly, was always open, it seemed like. He had 11 targets. But, Mike, when he gets 9 targets, look at how simple football can be. 9 targets, 10 targets, 11 targets. You know what happens when you just throw him the football?
He scores.
Wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 1 on the week. He's a top 12 receiver every time. The other times, fucking garbage. 75, 51, 70, and 37. Just think about that, though. Throw him the football. That's all it takes. When you throw him the football, good things happen. That's the one simple and easy stat to take about today.
I think the Chase game on Thursday night kind of highlighted it. If you don't have anything else going for your offense, just find your best players and give them the football. Like we talk about giving running backs enough touches where they're meaningful impact to the game, right? You just turn around and hand it.
Yep.
Well, in today's NFL, with the way we officiate everything and the way the wide receivers are protected, I have no idea why you can't average double-digit targets to your star wide receivers every single week. I mean, bubble screens, quick slants, whatever the hell you need to do. Take a couple shots downfield with them, get them on crossers, deep digs, whatever.
Yeah.
But you need to manufacture touches for your wide receivers. You need to force them the fucking ball if they're the stars.
I'm with you. Let me ask you this then. Obviously today comes through the air, but it's I don't know. Is it getting concerning for Saquon Barkley?
It will be concerning if we go another couple weeks of this and they can't ever get him going. What has been most concerning as the Eagles, and like I alluded to when I started talking about him, is teams are going to gear up to stop him. Right? You don't rush for over 2,000 yards last year, almost break the record, and do what he did without being a focal point of everyone's game plan when they play you.
Right.
It has been working, right? The Chiefs tried to do that in the Super Bowl, but the Eagles did what they did today versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just being balanced.
We hadn't seen that since the Super Bowl, like that ability to kill them through the air. So if this is a sign of things to come, like teams aren't going to be as reliant on, hey, we need to load the box to stop Saquon because, listen, while Saquon can break off 60-yard touchdown runs for sure, we definitely know that Smitty and A.J. Brown can house it, and Jalen Hurts can air that thing out. So just something to keep an eye on. Hopefully, as Eagles fan, for us, for fantasy purposes, this wasn't just an aberration of what this Eagles offense can do this year. And Patullo figured out what the fuck's going on here. And we'll get some bigger Saquon Barkley weeks as the game plan defensively shifts towards shit. We do need to respect Smitty and A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts in this passing game.
Yeah, I think, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I do think this is the first time we've seen Jalen Hurts that I can remember be a quarterback one without doing it through the ground, doing anything via the ground. He actually is negative today as far as rushing goes, finishing as a quarterback 1. So low volume, but only 4 incompletions. He had a hell of a day, 326 and 3.
Yeah, talk about the other end of the Tua QBR spectrum, 95 QBR on the day for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he misses 4 passes of 23. It's a great day. It's a great day for all fantasy assets on Philadelphia.
Yep.
Other than
it wasn't
Saquon.
like he did this versus the Cowboys or the Dolphins defense or the Bengals defense.
Well, that was the other thing, Mike, is part of the reason I sat him was, when I'm looking at tiebreakers, Minnesota has been, solid against the pass. So
yeah, I sat Jalen Hurts in the league this week too.
Did you? Yeah.
Don't worry. The other quarterbacks that I sat him for ended up outscoring him. So, listen, we're good.
Justin Jefferson, Mike, where are you at right now with? I mean, Carson Wentz is just, I don't know. It seemed like he was not very. It was a bad game for the kid. I don't know if he was pressing, trying to do too much with the
revenge game narrative.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah. You moved on from me for this fucking guy. Watch this. Watch why you moved on from me for this fucking guy. Yeah, that's what that turned into.
Well, that's what we saw. Exactly why we did, right?
Right. Also, too, like part of the game plan is it's always going to be tough. Number 1 wide receiver is not like Quinyon Mitchell's any slouch. If you're going to beat him, it's going to be with your number 2 wide receiver most of the time. And Jordan Addison had himself a hell of a day. Jefferson was fine. It just
so Bizzle's, celebration. Jordan Addison blow up day.
There you go. He just didn't get the touchdown. He just didn't get the touchdown he needed.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, you go. In my opinion, Mike, even the wide receiver 2 on an offense, you go for basically almost 10 catches, 128.
Yeah,
I mean,
good day.
It's a fucking great day, right?
Good day.
But Mike, aside from that, what really was frustrating was T.J. Hawkinson still doesn't deserve to have a hologram. I'm going to leave the kid off today.
9 targets and
that
still
touchdown. I will say Wentz, he's open. He's wide open. You make him dive for the fucking football. He was full extension. He made a great effort for it. It didn't come back as a touchdown. That definitely continues this T.J. Hawkinson start to
Can we
year.
stop the soft benching narrative around J.J. McCarthy now? Carson Wentz is ass. All right?
Well,
they didn't fucking bench J.J. McCarthy for
I don't think we can, because all we confirmed is that the bar is really low if it's Carson Wentz. He stinks. But yeah, I mean, that was basically the Vikings today, was this game. It was Jordan Addison, really. It was Jordan Addison's show, and Justin Jefferson's just kind of not giving you the dynasty value that you're wanting, frankly, out of him. I think would be the.
We might be entering like a little bit of a Justin Jefferson buy window here, just because it hasn't been great, and other guys have been fucking phenomenal and clearly passing him as far as dynasty ranks go and how people value him.
I'd be curious to see what the market actually does. He feels like one of these assets that is going to be super slow to move the wrong way. So
like Mahomes has been for the last couple of years.
And then it's like we're always waiting for the bounce back, and Mahomes kind of is having a little bit of a bounce back. So, Mike, let me just tell you this. While DeAndre Swift wasn't bad today, because he was great, Calvin Onga gets a fucking hologram and a blow-up, which is insane. I don't know, man. It was weird to see, and still to me hard to fathom. Even though I watched the entire thing and saw it with my own eyes, the Bears having 2 top 10 running backs for the week is just what?
Well, they needed it.
What?
Their passing game was atrocious. It was atrocious.
Yeah, I started Caleb Williams in a couple spots for 4 points. Just fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. Nobody on that passing attack did you much of anything. Everybody was a disappointment. Even our boy Rome was just out there, it felt like.
Well, that's a good call. And here's what I'm going to ask you. When you look at last week, there was plenty of stuff on X2 highlighting how, first of all, the touchdown that they called back was really a bad call, frankly. But then a lot of missed balls by Caleb Williams, which happens, it happens. After 2 weeks, though, of kind of, also they already had their bye, right? In 2 quiet weeks now.
Yep.
Are we moving the needle? Are we panicked at all about this? Or is this just kind of, some things that happened during the course of the year?
Well, over the last 2 weeks, they have discovered a running game. right? So they're still having success, and maybe this is kind of the direction Ben Johnson wanted to get into. We didn't think the Bears were going to have a very good running game, with just Monangai and just DeAndre Swift essentially on the roster. Roshan Johnson's whatever, who gives a shit. We didn't really think they were going to have one, and now they've kind of established themselves as having a running game. So this just might be mid-season ebb and flow as Ben Johnson figures out what he wants to do with this offense to make it more balanced, because early on in the season it was, shit, we're just going to put everything on Caleb and make him go play hero ball, and now they're kind of showing they don't have to. But I do think within the next couple of weeks you're going to see this balanced attack kind of pay off, and we're going to find a happy medium between the two.
That's okay. That's where I'm at. But I wanted to at least address it because it's been quiet for him, and also blowing up is DeAndre Swift. Mike, so Monangai and Swift both go. We're looking at 19 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown for Swift. 31, 81, and a touchdown for Monangai. And Mike, I don't know. I don't know how much I really fully am buying into the run game, but I will say I think it's somewhere in the middle is what I was actually expecting for this season for them. I thought they were going to be improved in the run game. I don't know if this is here to stay, meaning them going over 200 on the ground, but sheesh, man. It was impressive to say the least, even though the Saints, frankly, on the other side of the ball are fucking just dog shit, honestly. Chris Olave gets a great game, but they're horrible, the Saints are.
They're pretty bad on the other side of the ball. The Saints are just a bad team in general, but it's good to see the Bears actually have a run game, and it's good to see Monangai show that, hey, if DeAndre Swift is dealing with nagging injuries, if he's needs a little bit more of a breather, we don't have to put the entire running game on his plate. Mm-hmm. Give him a running mate, a realistic one that doesn't suck. Yep. It was good to see Monangai. So Monangai all of a sudden becomes pretty interesting in the dynasty circles as far as, hey, man, rookie year usage. He's clearly supplanted Roshan Johnson. They have shown to actually start to use him. Mm-hmm. You're not going to bank on him as your RB1, but flex consideration maybe on a week for Monangai.
Well, I think, like when you get to Bipocalypse next week, sure. I think I want to see more of this. But what I will say today was interesting was he took an entire rep, Mike. He took an entire series, right? So that was, to me, maybe a combination of the groin, maybe a combination of trying to keep Swift fresh for still a long season. If he gets, let's say, Mike, this 30%, 35% snap share, and he's taking full series, I think if that's here to stay, there should be intrigue for him. But
be nice.
Just frankly, listen, Olave deserves a hologram or a blow up, but only had time to get to so many today, and I was not, frankly, Mike, expecting any blow ups from this team. This was a great game from him, 5 catches, 98. So you would have liked to see more receptions, but 2 touchdowns. And Mike, it's let me just ask you here: they lose this game 14-26. Tell me Kamara doesn't want to really stay.
I don't. He just must really love New Orleans and love the
Big
money.
Easy.
You know how people get when they're close to retirement and they're close to calling it anyways. We don't want a new change. I don't want to learn new things. I don't want to have to deal with it. They're paying me. I like where I'm at.
The airheads must be good down there, man. Those airheads must be fired.
I don't really care. The company's going in the shitter. Like I'm still getting paid. I'll be out of here before this fucking really goes to shit. Maybe that's it. Because
I got bad news for Kamara. It's really gone to shit. This is one of the worst teams in football.
What was most disappointing, the Bears don't have that great of a pass defense. They really don't. Without Jalen Johnson, it is kind of a it's a whole bunch of who fuck knows, who cares on defense. Right. And I was really starting to buy into Spencer Rattler playing better and better and better, and damn, man, I started dogging this guy, and then the real Spencer Rattler came out. The Spencer Rattler we saw last year came back to play this game, and it was like, ugh.
Listen, I think it's tough on this team in general.
Do you think he had, because it is a revenge game for him. Remember, he got his ass benched for Caleb Williams. Do you think he got too amped up? Was he Carson Wentz?
No, he threw 3 fucking picks. God, no. I'm sure he had that in his head, but it just wasn't. It's like one of those things that even if there's truth to it, Mike, it ain't real life. Sorry, Spence.
Jesus Christ, the Giants blow this. The kicker sucks. God damn it. That was amazing.
The fact that Mike, I can just tell you, this is where when I'm watching the eyeballs and they're down for where we normally are. I'm like, there's clearly football still going on. Keep looking over here to see what it is. Wow, these afternoon games are crazy, which we're gonna get into some of those. But
brutal. Love to see it.
We're trying to get some of these true stinkers out of the way, Mike. Here.
Is there a kicker in the NFL outside of Brandon Aubrey you trust for fucking anything this year? Because every one of them seems to suck.
Well, speaking of trust, do you trust Xavier Legette blow-up game?
No. No, I do not. And I was one of the biggest Xavier Legette fans, but I've seen enough to
Mike,
no.
But here's the thing, Mike. Target-wise, he's at the leaderboard. 11 targets today.
I don't know why. It's Sauce Gardner. That's why.
If that was maybe we need more sauce out there for Xavier Legette because maybe we just he's a big sauce fan. 9 catches, 92 and a touchdown. Mike, if you were just planted on the earth today, nothing, you'd be like, this fucking Xavier Legette guy's a fucking dog.
A stud. Look at him. 6'2", 220, built like an Adonis.
Dude, he was
11 targets.
Legitimately, though, honestly, Mike, he was one of the only fun players to watch today in this football game, because the Jets are really bad, bro. The Jets are terrible.
So bad.
We got to get through this game. And then what I will say, though, Mike, is remember I was asking you last week, and nobody knows, okay? But Rico had 2 great weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. And you're like, hopefully they keep the Rico train going. But, Mike, I mean, we're looking at 14 and 17. This is almost a dead even split with this fucking backfield.
This is one I didn't get to watch very much of, but I was checking in, especially when I was eating. And when I checked in, Rico Dottle at one point only had like 3 touches.
Yes.
And Chuba Hubbard had 10. Mm-hmm. And he had 10 for like 19 yards or whatever the fuck it was. And I went, oh, man, Panthers are on this bullshit. Rico's been killing it. Of course, I've tried to tell people that I don't think Chuba Hubbard's very fucking good. He was a product of circumstance last year. He delivered for you. Yeah. But the entirety of this season, he looks slow. He looks gross. He's indecisive when he hits the holes. And Rico Dotto was this breath of fresh air. And as soon as he's back, we're going to force feed him touches. Now,
damn, this is a crazy thing. Go ahead.
Now, to the point, though, about Rico Dotto and Chuba, right? At that point, the split was almost all Chuba and almost none Rico, and I was like, Jesus Christ, they're on their bullshit. You look at how the game finished. Mm-hmm. He only got 4 more fucking carries from that point, and they gave the rest of them to Rico Dottle, who continued to fucking deliver with his touches. So maybe props to the Panthers. Maybe they saw finally like, okay, man, fuck this. Okay, Chuba, we gave you the contract. We don't really give a shit. You're just ineffective. You're not good. Rico's the guy. We'll see how it goes in their next game. If we start out again with this like 12 to 2 touch fucking differential,
I don't think that is going to happen per se, but I do think, Mike, I think this is going to be. I think there's a scenario where we're still, even though the 2.2 a carry versus 4.6, all that shit, right? I think there's a scenario where we're looking at these guys splitting series. Frankly, I do. I think that's what these guys might do, even if it's wrong, the wrong play, right?
Like a real poor man's last year Rashad White, Bucky Irving scenario?
Yes. If the offense, if you put that on a bad offense, right, exactly.
If you put that with a not good quarterback and
I mean,
not a very good team.
Okay. It's I'll just say it's concerning because today Tet was obviously, listen, you get the sauce treatment to your point, but the one thing I really wanted to see is if this backfield's going to be shaking out to be, a split, or how it's if they're going to split this up, Mike, even 45, 55, 60, 40. I think it's going to be gross, man. Because even Chuba today, Rico, while he looked good today, you're like, damn, if he gets a little more work, he might be a fucking stud again.
The only real good thing I want to take away from the Panthers, and it was a deep dive, it was a deep fucking play.
No Garrett Wilson today, and it looked like it, for the record.
Is the fact that Mitchell Evans is slowly taking over number 1 tight end role for the Panthers. It's not JT Sanders, it's not Tommy Tremble, who's had many, many opportunities, even though he's playing more than Sanders. Mitchell Evans was one of those like UDFA type guys at the tight end position that I'm like, man, 2-3 years ago at Notre Dame, this was like the next guy. This was the next coming, and then had a bad year his last year at Notre Dame. something to keep an eye on, especially for a lot of us who run this fucking A-warp tight end life. Maybe get you a little Mitchell Evans because the usage keeps going up almost every single week as far as routes ran, target share, that kind of thing. So it's good to see him out there a lot more.
One thing to keep in mind, too, Bryce Young left the game, and we'll see what happens with him moving forward.
Please no more Andy Dalton ever.
Well, that's what it will be if he can't go, right?
Please no more
Will the
Andy
real
Dalton.
Chiefs, wide receiver 1, please stand up?
He's back, buddy.
They
He's
force-fed the shit out of
very
him.
back. Well, Mike, can I tell you that's even the more concerning thing to me is especially coming off the suspension and why he was in trouble, right? Like, if you think about that holistically for a team, you really put the team in a bad spot doing that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how he was rewarded? Fucking forced the guy the football before we're even running routes.
Yeah.
That Mike, that says a lot. Personally, for me, that says a lot. That says a lot about how they want to use the guy, right?
Yeah, they were wearing those free rice T-shirts, for weeks. The guy almost killed some people. They're like, yeah, that's still our guy. That's still our guy. Yeah, welcome back.
Yep.
I would say like the yards per reception is probably about the only thing that you'd be worried about. Is
sure.
There wasn't a whole lot of shit downfield at all for him.
No, and I mean they if you watch this game, they basically were trying to just get him the ball in space and let him do something after the catch. To your point, 7 for 42. It was also one of these games too where they force fed him so much early. They honestly just continued to put their fucking foot on the throat of the Raiders, which I'll get to here in a second. But Mike, they didn't really need to do much, frankly, through the air after a few drives. It's just like, okay, this is the hapless team on the other side. A lot of times these in-division games are tighter than you expect them to be. This would be the opposite of that. Overall, though, the rest of the distribution of targets was kind of widespread. Brashard Smith ends up getting more involved, he might need to have a hologram after getting 14 carries. Didn't do much with them on the ground, but also had, 5 catches for 42. They're kind of using him out wide and in the backfield. That's pretty exciting, honestly.
Probably the most frustrating part about the whole game was the Xavier Worthy thing, because I thought we would really consolidate it down to, Rashee Rice was going to get his, right? Like we both talked about that one, that he was going to get his, but Xavier Worthy ended up with only 4 targets. Now, I think when the final data comes out, he probably led the team in routes ran, and yet still Juju and Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown are getting their shit, and they're still getting their targets divvied up, which is just infuriating and frustrating.
Well, it's you don't know, you can't predict the future, but it's one game. I'm not going to make too much of it, especially when they're beating them 31-0. But it's been concerning for me is just what is it going to look like for guys that are really highly valued when they're all back and healthy. Too early to say. Also, what was it? Noah Gray had a 28-yard catch. Kelsey has 54. To your point, Brashard Smith 42. It was it was not consolidated today. So, and this is the second game, Mike. I just want to let people know this, okay? This is the second game that I was going to say Oakland, but the Las Vegas Raiders, in 3 weeks, the other team has pulled their starters in the third fucking quarter.
The Raiders are really bad too, man.
Dude, honestly, the Raiders, I believe, Mike, I don't think I'm over-exaggerating here. I think the game is past Pete Carroll by. I think he's too old. I think for you to get beat 40-6 by the Colts, you could say, okay, maybe that's one thing, right? They kind of get a pass last week because they beat on the fucking hapless Titans. Honest to God. Yeah. The Titans are really fucking terrible too.
Yeah.
But then they play the Chiefs 31-0. Mike, this guy still is basically continued to say, like, I just can't believe what's happening. I thought we were contenders. They're 2-5. Mike, but here's what's crazy. You draft a running back, even if you get destroyed, you draft a running back top 10. Like, how in the fuck does he get 7 touches? How do you give him 7 touches?
Don't know.
This is, honestly, this would be my biggest, most frustrating game. Now, I know the Chiefs dominated the clock. They dominated the ball. They dominated the touches. There's zero explanation, excuse for the way in which this game was coached, the way in which it was played, it was absolutely disgusting.
Well, let's not forget, once upon a time, Chip Kelly led an amazing offense in college and then took NFL jobs and was horrible and didn't do very well. And then Chip Kelly got fired for multiple stops and ended up going back to college and resurrecting his career, being a big part of why Ohio State won the national championship last year on offense. Now Chip Kelly's back in the NFL, and this is what we're seeing from a Chip Kelly offense. Listen, kind of like we talk about with some fucking guys that are just better off being offensive coordinators and not head coaches. There's some guys that are better off being in college and not the fucking NFL.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, buddy. You're just not wrong.
Fizz and I talked about it on Friday that, I can't tell you who the best teams are. I can't tell you who the fucking playoff teams, because it's been a wild year. The only thing we know for sure is we can name 6 fucking teams that are ass and competing for the top 6 draft picks, and the Raiders are one of them.
Well, dude, that's the other thing. Like you can't take a freaking running back that high and be this bad still. Like,
it's a luxury pick.
It's a misuse of draft capital, plain and simple.
Terrible.
Because here's the thing, Mike. Honestly, to me, we can make the case. I think that in the conversation, if not the most electric running back so far, has been this guy, Cam Scatterbo, when we get to the Giants game. I mean,
rookie running back. There you go.
That's what I'm. Thank you for clarifying. You know what?
Okay.
You knew what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Because Bijan and Jonathan Taylor still exist.
Well, I'm not, Mike. Trust me. You got my back. It's rookie running back. To your point,
rookie
Mike,
running back.
There's a difference in the draft capital. What I'm saying here is the difference between where they take Genty and where you take Scatterbo. I'm not even saying Scatterbo is as talented as Genty. I don't think anyone believes that. But listen, he's also. He's been really fun to watch. He's been electric, and he's also, him and Dart have really put some life into this team. Although we saw it kind of die, right?
It's electric in a different way than we normally associate with electric, because he sure isn't electric from burst or ability to juke dudes out in the open field or run away from people. It's electric just because he's a fucking bowling ball. Right, he wears that 44 and he plays like fucking old school John Riggins is what he does. He wants to put his goddamn head into everyone. Even when he caught that screen pass, right? He's like 3 yards in the end zone and he's already lowering his head to like hit the quarterback. Like, you are a fucking psycho.
No, he definitely is. And listen, dude, Jackson Dart has really also put some life into this team. But Mike. It's kind of insane because I have it on here. We're trying to run the show, but when you and I get ready to start the stream, the Giants are winning, and you're thinking, okay,
the Giants dominated this fucking game.
Just because your point is correct, and I just want to make this
for 3 quarters.
Like, they're literally, this team, Denver, wins this game 33-32, but people will not understand unless you really go watch the game through or look at a box score that says the quarters breakdown. They didn't score a point in the fucking 3 quarters they played at first. They didn't score a single point in 3 quarters. They win this game. Dude, I'm telling you right now, what's crazy is, Mike, I would argue that Dayball saved his job, right, with Jackson Dart and with Scatterbo. But then you also cannot have a epic loss where you give up 33 and a quarter.
So I was gonna come on here and talk about, man, what the fuck is wrong with Sean Payton and these Broncos now? This is 2 weeks.
I was getting ready to come on by about the early third, Mike. I was getting ready to ask you, like, are we worried about Bo Nix? I still think we should be, but this was a crazy comeback.
And then I was going to talk up the Giants and how awesome this is with Dart and Scatterbo, and Dable saved himself. Adam, the big takeaway from this one is, while it has been great with Dart and it has been great with Scatterbo, and Dable saved his job and Joe Shane looks like a fucking genius, we are sitting here now, we're going to have this discussion about, you just gave up 33 fucking points in the 4th quarter and lost a game. Like, we make fun of religiously the Falcons in 28-3.
I don't know that I can recall as you're saying this, Mike, because you're going to that level, right? The extremeness. Mike, I don't recall a team ever scoring 33 in my existence in a quarter.
In a quarter is nuts. It's nuts.
Tell me if you could think. I can't even think of a single quarter where we're talking 28.
How many NBA players have scored 33 in a quarter?
Klay Thompson, maybe, like
Right, you got 37. That's it. That's like granted, I saw what Grady scored,
Dude.
14 in like 13 seconds or
sure,
some shit like that.
But I mean, dude, this game was insane. Honestly, though, my point was just going to be, I really feel bad for Jackson Dart and Cam Scott. Will they find a way? And Tyrone Tracy end up getting the end zone as well. Dude, they end up having a very good, it felt like, offensive game. Frankly, this feels like a really big letdown by the defense, in my opinion. Here, Mike, that's crazy to think about.
Massive. They had him on the fucking ropes.
Dude, you know how big that would have been? Do you know how big that would have been for the Giants to go into Mile High and win? I mean, honestly, it would have been insane.
Massive.
But Bo Nix, Mike, turns his day around. It felt between London and the first 3 quarters of this game like some of the worst football on offense that I had watched.
Yes.
It really did. That's not overstatement. But a crazy comeback at the end here. Mike, Bo Nix ends up with 4 touchdowns today. It's honestly, again, hard to quantify. Hard to quantify what the fuck took place, honestly.
38 fantasy points from Bo Nix in most of your 4-point passing touchdown leagues. Absolutely insane. Because you're right. I mean, we're talking 7 quarters of ball here where I was like, what the fuck is going on? The only thing that had saved Bo Nix is the fact that he was playing shittier quarterbacks, and there was other quarterbacks like Tua and Geno out there playing like dog shit, that we were just keeping Bo Nix's name out of our mouth. Right? Yeah. But here we go. 4th quarter, he put his big nuts on the fucking table and said, I got this. All right, watch me single-handedly carry this team back.
I believe there was a play that was taken back from RJ Harvey where he had a nice little play and it got called back for holding. Okay, but dude, speaking of misused draft capital, like RJ Harvey has a 5-touch game today.
Yay.
But you know what it mattered for? Nothing. He does nothing except for he does get in the end zone, which I think, can I be honest, if you're like not a watcher of the games at all, if you just kind of box score, you might think it was just not as bad as it looked.
It was bad.
RJ Harvey's been just non-existent, man. It's kind of crazy to think about that, because not that Dobbins couldn't have taken, let's say, the 1A role, but Mike, the 1B role right now is nothing on this team.
Nothing. Yeah. The 1B role is, Tyler Bidet still out there on 3rd downs and like clutch situation. Gives a fuck.
This is, but I'll just say, dude, it's I'm Marvin Mims had a good day. Sutton had a good day. Salvage day, let's call him. All right.
Yep.
Franklin has a touchdown.
He did. Get
I will say, Mike, if this 4th quarter doesn't have huge momentum, play into the next games, can I tell you why I'm worried? One, we tend to do this sometimes with quarterbacks, I believe, too early. I like Drake Maye. I think he's going to be great. Okay, I don't want to like have people mishear what I'm saying and putting it to certain quarterbacks, but one of the reasons I'm a little less quick to put guys into the elite category per se, outside of a Jaden Daniels who's running and just looking as polished as he was early. Okay. The NFL tends to find out what quarterbacks like to do and kind of what makes them tick and how they like to run the offense, and especially when they're paired with an offensive coordinator that likes to do certain things. They're feeling found out a little bit here until this fucking 4th quarter. So I'm worried. I'm worried.
It's something that we don't take into account enough, Adam. But the NFL does have guys on each team on payroll that their only job is just to scout these fucking other teams.
That's all they do. They travel and they watch. Yes.
That's all they do. They're the ultimate cucks. They're just watchers.
Yes, but Mike, they report back that information. They're honestly glorified snitches. That's what they are.
That's what. Yeah.
So listen, I'm not trying to hate on Bo Nix, but I'm just
lucky for Bo Nix.
I'm worried.
And
he has
Broncos.
4 touchdowns. Imagine you started him, Mike, and you get the performance he gave you today. How fraudulent does that feel? You're not going to be mad, but that's crazy.
Lucky for Bo Nix, his next game he gets the Cowboys. So.
Well, what a perfect segue into Fizzle's Cowboys. Fizzle, if you're still here, will as he will say probably, the real wide receiver 1 please stand up? Dude, it was a big game for CD, a big game for this offense. What did you think, Mike?
I was so glad for CD being back. If you didn't catch Fizzle on Friday night, I rocked my CD Lamb jersey, the only Cowboys jersey I'll ever fucking probably own. I'm glad to see him back, because we saw what George Pickens has done for these last couple of weeks with CD Lamb out. Wait till the King returns, and the King returned in a big way. Now, George Pickens still had his moments. I mean, he had one big-ass catch early in the game down the sideline, but CeeDee Lamb is still him. Even coming off of a bum ankle, like one that, it's a high ankle, usually 15%, less, whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No,
85% CeeDee Lamb is still one of the best wide receivers in the entire league.
I was really wanting to see kind of how he moved. And it's hard to explain, but Micah, we are very much process guys for a lot of the way. But no matter what you do for me, there's still going to be things for the eye test that I put into account. That's a big play, right? Which is, okay, a guy coming off a high ankle, typically not a good thing all season. They're typically zapped a lot of their quickness, their burst, whatever. I'll be honest, Mike, I didn't notice anything from CD that said he had a high ankle sprain today. It didn't look like he had a high ankle whatsoever.
We'll see how he responds after the game, right? Because sometimes you will have some flare-ups.
Sure.
You will have swelling, a little soreness.
Swelling is definitely something to keep in mind here. But the one thing, too, I think, to your point, definitely something to be cautious of and looking at. But modern medicine, the way they treat, rehab and stuff like that,
gotten way better.
I'm really not that worried because I think they're going to be on top of, that type of management. It's really good to see, man. Really good to see because he also had some big plays, some runaway plays. Although, albeit a guy hits his own defender, you can't take it away from him. Pickens, not the same blow-up day that we saw in the past. At this point, you're ready for just the blow-ups to keep continuing. 4 for 82, though, is still a good game. That's not truly a blow-up. But I think he's going to be boom or bust. But if this is his bust, Mike, we'll take it, frankly. Right?
Yeah, as long as you weren't buying him high off the last couple weeks, right? As long as you weren't doing something crazy, like this is a bona fide wide receiver one. Like, as long as you didn't do that, relative to how we were valuing George Pickens, he was way too low at the start of the season. He wasn't high enough, and that was one of our favorite guys to go out and target because I was like, this is a pretty damn good wide receiver 2 for our fantasy teams. As long as you weren't playing wide receiver 1 prices, you were doing all right. And this is the kind of weeks that you're going to have, right? You're going to have 4 for 82. You get 12 points. Now, when he scores a touchdown on a deep ball, you're going to have better weeks, and he could give you wide receiver 1 numbers.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if you're telling me 4 for 82 is his bust week, there's no way. We're not really boom or bust, honestly.
No. And I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of, like, real bad weeks from this Dallas offense. I mean, they put up 44 points. They gave up 22. Jaden Daniels got hurt, but Jaden Daniels was cooking that defense for the most part, right? They were moving the ball up and down the field at will on that defense. They just didn't convert those into points and like keep that game really close. But this is kind of how Dallas is going to have to win. That offense is going to have to fucking score and produce every single week. Yep.
And listen, Jake Ferguson, the 29 yards you don't love, but listen,
you love the 7 catches.
You play PPR, you love 7. You play tight end premium, you really love 7.
You really love it. You play them full point tight end premiums, you're in heaven.
You're loving, and then the 2 touchdowns, the cherry on top. And Mike, listen, it's to the dismay of many, Javonte Williams produces again and again and
Somebody
again.
offered me Javonte Williams this morning while I was at work. I saw a trade come through, or a trade proposal.
Did you not take it?
No, because the fucking guy wanted 2 firsts.
Oh. I mean, hey, at least he's shooting high. He's shooting his shot, so to speak, right?
He was. Listen, I like what Javonte's doing, man, but 2 firsts? Jesus Christ, Bob. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, what we're doing is, I mean, listen, it's that would be a hell of an overpay. Mike, I'll tell you this, though. I don't think he's worth it in the dynasty long-term game. But he's certainly in the conversation of worth a first for a contender. I mean, even if you're bleeding some dynasty value, this is an offense you want to be attached to, and he's the guy. Yeah,
he is. And Jaden Blue's, getting work and coming along, but it is nothing like what people were promising.
I was going to say, the only thing he's doing is he might be coming along faster than Kamani Vidal, but that's not saying much,
Yeah.
So,
riddle me dumb for not believing in the guy who got replaced by Contravian Wisner, who's ass.
Well, just remember next year or moving forward, just because you're ready to write somebody's career off doesn't mean that the NFL is. Speaking of Javonte Williams,
that's fair.
Couple more games to get through, Mike. But listen, this Cards Packers game started really slow and then ended up being a barn burner. It basically was finishing as we're playing here, so I don't really have a lot of the blow ups and stuff like that. But Jacobs scares the piss out of people. Scared the piss out of me. I'm like, dude, they call up Pierre Strong, right, from the practice squad. You're like, dude, this looks like he's not going to fucking play, honestly. And, well, I left him in the lineup thinking, all right, we'll move him to the flex, do what we got to do just in case. Comes out, and I'll say he didn't, have his greatest game, but he goes for 2 scores, which makes it perfect for a guy that's supposedly hurt. So you love to see it. And, Mike, I'll get to the Cardinals in a minute, but it's still frustrating for the pass-catching weapons on this team.
Yes.
If Romeo Doubs is the wide receiver 1, I really don't like it, if I'm just telling you the truth. So
You like it if you have Romeo Doubs on a best ball team? Like, you feel pretty good.
To be honest, I don't. I'd rather him not. Okay, I'd rather that points those because Can I tell you why I don't, Mike? Because I know that I'd rather see fucking almost anybody. I'd rather see Dontavian Wicks, which I have stashed. I'd rather see all these other guys that might have some upside. Romeo Doubs is pure no upside. This is like the best you're gonna get. 6 for 72.
That's fine, man.
I don't
He's
want
Green
it.
Bay's Jacoby Myers.
I don't want it. Give me Tucker Kraft instead by a country mile, who scores a touchdown.
10 targets.
Yeah,
he got 10 targets.
He did. And can I just say this? Jordan Love is not doing a lot in fantasy, but is, I think, having a decent – he's playing well as a quarterback, honestly. It's weird.
He's playing real well as an NFL quarterback.
Right.
He's just not doing it for fantasy. And he's not doing it to the weapons that you want because they spent a first-round pick on Matthew Golden, who apparently they only want to use in the first quarter of games. And they have a hard limit. Like, we're going to throw the ball to you 4 times in the first quarter.
He's got to get his threshold stats, but we can't let him meet the high-end stats. We can't pay that out,
Then we're going to need you to fuck off for the rest of the game. Okay, Matt? Good? All right, ready, break.
Well, Mike, I also I fired this hologram up just for it not to be of use at all.
No, you don't need that one.
We're good. So, Mike, and let me just say this. Going to the Cardinals find a way to just not win football games, honestly.
Nope.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. has got to be, in my opinion, Mike, just the most frustrating. I don't believe there's a talent problem. I don't believe the kid isn't good. But I am so sick of watching this shit. It is absolutely maddening to watch these games, bro.
Speaking of maddening, Marvin Harrison, it doesn't matter what I play on Madden. I go rescue him from Arizona every single time. Like, I'll send whatever the fuck the Cardinals want just to get him on a different team. Come here, Marv. I'll use you.
Dude.
I'll throw the football to you.
Because here's the thing. Zay Jones, again, outperforms them 2 for 67 as opposed to Marv's 2 for 58. And Trey McBride, man, this is the show of today. 10-74 and goes for 2 touchdowns, which, Mike, for those counting,
he was allergic to the end zone.
That's double last year's touchdowns. So
in one game.
Well,
one game. Look at him. You can't keep him out of the end zone now.
I mean, dude, he looks fucking awesome. He looks great. Yeah, honestly, Jacoby Brissett, though, Mike, is I thought this was probably going to be the way it would go, but he's just so much more comfortable with the targets that are going to go to Trey McBride as opposed to all the way out to Marv. This is not good for Marv, and it's great for Trey McBride. I think this is honestly something moving forward you can even lean into a little more for production, frankly, until Kyler's back. And I don't even know with his Liz Frank type injury, Mike, what the hell that's going to look like for him when if he is back.
Don't know. The writing's on the wall, too. We got a new team entering the bottom 6 conversation, though. Cardinals find a way to lose again.
Mike, they started so well. And and then every game, even still, it's like they're not really bad. We can't put them in. They found a way, buddy. They have found a way. Speaking of the bottom, and
I think Gannon should just fight more players on the sideline. That's what he needs to do.
Mike, can I tell you something? This guy had one of his more meaningful games today.
He finally did something.
Not really, but Mike, dude, it was in the passing game.
Let's go,
Mike.
Let's go.
This guy, 6 catches, 43 yards. You're telling me this is the way in which he's relevant, dude? 6 carries for 18. He got outperformed on the ground by Tajay Spears, 5 for 22. This team is so bad, Mike. It's so bad.
It is. But hey, we had a long touchdown from Cam Ward. Beautiful ball to Shamir DK.
Well, sure. We'll put him up. Listen, There's nothing really to get excited about. I'm gonna be honest with everybody else here. It's
his leading receiver, by the way.
Oh yeah, 4 for 70. If it wasn't for him though, it would have been Tony Pollard, Mike, 6 for 43.
And then Van Jefferson's still alive. Good times.
I started Chig in the league. Why? I mean, dude, this is he. By the way, if you didn't know, Chig didn't do anything. He was literally out there.
He got targeted twice.
He's a phantom. Him and Isaiah Bond do the same conversation. Okay, did or didn't they play? They did.
You got Gunnar Helm getting 5 targets. Let's go.
What I will say about them is the Raiders we expected more from. The Titans I think we didn't necessarily expect much from. But it's kind of the same deal where it's like, dude, these games get out of hand so early that it just doesn't matter, honestly. Oh, man. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Drake Maye is continuing to ball. Mike, can I just say, when do we really panic right here, though? This is what I need to know. This is, I think, where the conversation needs to start.
We just went through week 7, and it's still the same old shit, right? RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson, same picture.
Nah, this picture's worse. I'm looking. He's got 2 carries for 5.
Okay.
Terrell Jennings has 5 carries for 18.
Yeah.
Passing work, right? Because he's going to be in on passing downs because he can pass block so well. He can, but Mike, let me tell you, I'm checks notes. No, Ramondre, 2 catches for no yards. We don't want dude. I don't know, buddy. It's not as bad as the Raiders, but it's the same principle. You're spending an early second. This is essentially a first-round pick. This is insanity to not play this guy.
Who's the bigger bust right now? What you had to spend on Travion to get him in your rookie drafts, or what you spent on Caleb Johnson?
Versus who?
Caleb Johnson.
Well, I thought you were going to say Genty. I'm like, well, at least Genty's shown us life, and we hope for the future, and even every week we hope.
Yeah, Genty's giving us a game, you know?
He's giving us a couple. Games, and even when he gets work, it's like, all right, the guy's passing. I don't even know, Mike. I don't feel like Travion Henderson's not passing the, performance test from the eye, but he's just not out there to watch. I mean, this is as little as I can remember him playing, honestly, all year, and that's the biggest problem, more than anything, right? This is as little as I can remember him being in a game where I had the game up. He's just not playing. It should be going the other way. You should be starting to inch more into playing your rookie.
I want to take all my victory laps, but it's still it hurts, right? Because you want to see these rookies get out there. There's no reason for Trevin to not be out there playing, to not get work. Why the fuck Terrell Jennings is getting work, like you said. I want to take my victory laps about, hey, this is why I ranked Quinshon Judkins above him, but it has nothing to do with that because you can't even find him on the field to see if he's bad. Right? No. We don't even know if he's bad because he can't even get on the fucking field, Adam. I don't know.
I'm with you. Drake Maye, listen, I told you, we'd make sure the
proverbial blow
was in. We made sure it's here. And I'll say this, not to take away from Drake Maye. You're supposed to dominate versus the hapless Titans, but he did that. He also, one of the big things I think here to note, 62 yards on the ground is massive. So
had a little concussion scare. He banged his helmet off the turf pretty hard. Missed a couple plays, but then he was right back in.
Well,
the crowd went nuts.
I think it was Fantasy Receipts or somebody, one of those little accounts out there. I got a notification. I don't even follow them, but I get a notification that I got to look at this. I see the play, which I already saw, and it was like, I'm praying for him. I'm like, can we stop this? Like, he's not even ruled out yet.
Right.
Enough. Please, enough. Drake Maye's fine, by the way.
Awesome.
He has been awesome. He's one of these guys, Mike. I think he's on the Herbert trajectory, frankly. Like, he has rushing upside. I don't think he's going to rush for 62 on a given weekly basis, typically, but he has it in his bag. He has it as the ability to run. He also, Mike, only has 2 incompletions today, but he's also really looked like a great upcoming NFL QB. He's as hot as it gets right now, I think, frankly.
He is, and he's really doing it with a cast of
characters, let's be honest. Ramondre, 18 for 88 today, but
they won't use Travion. They won't use their exciting rookie running back, and Kayshon Boutte goes out and gets his 2 catches and gets a touchdown out of one of them, and old-ass Stephon Diggs still doing his thing, and old-ass Hunter Henry still doing his thing. This is his cast
Booty
of
gets in
characters.
the end zone. That was a crazy play. But, Mike, that was the other thing I wanted to say, though. Not to dismiss Diggs or Booty or Hollins, all these other guys, okay? But this is where, to me, Mike, this kind of feels personal and like an agenda from Vrabel, kind of, honestly. It's just like, dude, Mike, you're telling me that we're beating up on a team and you don't get the young guy out there, like with like reps at the end either. I'm sorry, I can't buy into this. Is just he's that bad of a football player. Get the fuck out of here. But
Come
Mike,
on, man.
this is really scary. So what do you do with this guy right now?
You just got to take your lumps, man. You going to sell low? I mean, people spent like the 4, the 5, the 6.
Isn't that the definition of sunk cost fallacy, though?
It is, but sometimes you just got to take those lumps. You know what I mean?
What is it? What can you get for him?
Exactly. What are they giving
Well,
you?
I'm asking legitimately.
A second? You getting a second?
Do you just take speaking of taking your lumps, do you just hey, I lost my first, I'm down to a second, you just take it and run? What do you do?
I ain't taking just a second for him, right? I watched all them turd burgers out there.
Right.
Tell me in the offseason with Quinshon Judkins that you just take a second at this point, bro. You just take a second. And here we are, 3 touchdowns fucking later this week. How's that second feel?
People were trying to argue Quinshon's career was over, so that was...
Well, yeah, they do stupid shit like that. That's all right.
That's fair. I think, how silly of me. I'm like, I know we have another game to get to. Well, we do. And Mike, it's Jonathan Taylor still doing these type things. But can I tell you this, though, Mike? This game, to me, for those wondering, this is the Colts, as you see here, but they play the Chargers today. They win in L.A., okay? Like, I'm starting to get to the point where this is going to sound crazy. People need to hear it. This is, I believe, if you just were to look, I haven't actually heard this from anybody else or checked this, but I believe this has to be one of the most efficient and best offenses that we've seen to this point in the NFL season. Honest to God.
Yeah. They don't
Mike,
punt a lot.
They legitimately, not only don't they punt, Mike, but they're in the fucking 30s or 40s on a lot of these games, dude. Like,
yeah.
This is no bullshit, man. You're telling me we're halfway through the fantasy season? This is a large sample now that we're at, frankly, where they're just balling. Like, when do we have the conversation of this is not fluke anymore from Mr. Daniel Jones?
And they can do it both facets of the offense, right? They run the ball. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's been one of the best running backs in the league, fantasy or production-wise.
I'd say honestly. And even with Bijan playing really well, I think he still looks like the best running back in football.
Well, I put in the description, Jonathan Taylor saw what Bijan did and was like, hold my beer. Watch
Hold
this.
on, everyone. Just chill out. Stop with this. Stop with this shit. It's still my time to shine, okay? Brucey's time.
It's still my time. But then they go out and they hit you deep down the field with Antoine motherfucking Pierce. Let's go, Antoine.
Listen, it's he's here. All right, there's Antoine Pierce, 5 for 98, Mike. But listen,
He should have had a touchdown, but he kind of tripped over his own feet. He was like,
that,
"How the fuck am I this open downfield?"
How about a guy that has tripped over his own feet as well? Daniel Jones. You know, he is
He's
on
killing
fire.
it.
I didn't give him the fire hologram because it takes too long to render. But, we'll have it soon.
Doing his thing, man.
Mike, dude. I don't know. I'm not really like I'm not ready to say it with my chest yet, but I'm also like, dude, what more do we want, frankly? Like when do we buy in? What's it gonna take?
I keep waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin. He had that game a couple weeks ago, and you're like, there it is. And then the next week was awesome, and then this week was awesome, and it's like, I don't think this is fucking happening. I think he's just gonna be good.
He honestly really does, though, Mike. He's moving the ball with efficiency. He's spreading the ball around, and honestly, he has his team believing. I've got nothing to take away from him, and also Tyler Warren just is.
Yep.
Continuing to
fucking look like an asshole.
Just continuing to be one of the best
right.
tight ends in the game. Honestly, he just is.
Yep. They keep fucking drawing up plays for him. They keep doing these block and release, and nobody wants to cover him. And then he gets the ball and he does this thing.
But
He's
the
just been
last,
fucking up.
but the last hologram dimes, like honestly, like it's a perfect pairing for a guy like Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
A guy that you get the ball to quick and let him go make the play after. It's perfect for Daniel Jones. So
Yeah, and he's got his possession receiver in Michael Pittman. He's got his alpha that he can go to when he needs it. His big body guy, and then he's got Antoine fucking Pierce down the field.
Yeah, and I mean Josh Downs. Even with Josh Downs missing, it didn't matter at all.
Didn't matter.
38 points, Mike.
Rolled him.
I got nothing more to say other than if you have Jones, you love this. You're in found money. I think, Mike, the conversation then is, do you just keep rolling with it or do you try to sell? And if you needed a quarterback, are you buying into Jones, and what does that cost?
Yeah, somebody asked in the chat, is he worth a first? Yeah, I think he's been worth a first for a couple of weeks now, for sure.
I think at about last week, Mike, I was kind of like willing and ready. You know, kind of like I don't even want to, but I think it's time to have that conversation. I think we're at the point now where, like, this was a big game. You're on the road all the way across the country, right? This was, to me, one of those answers where you're like, whether you like it or not, buddy, this is fucking about I think
he's at point you enjoy him on your contending teams, and he's putting up points so much for you that if somebody came and offered you a first, you go, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I need more than that. But who's giving you 2? Who's giving you 2+? Because that's what he's delivering on the field worth production-wise, right? His production says this should be a 2 first-plus kind of quarterback. And
yeah,
if you find somebody who can give that to you, go for it, for sure. I'd take that. You know, you give me 2 firsts for Daniel Jones, sure. I love the production, but you can have him.
Like, as soon as we say Keenan Allen, was on a...
He's dead. He's
had 3 bad games. He's on his way out.
Right.
Believe me, the kid is ready to stand up.
14 targets, 119 yards.
This is what we call a alpha, okay? 14 targets is just asinine. Oronde Gadsden, Mike, was a player I could have picked up when needing a tight end. And I went with Kate Otten, and I'm about beside myself. I'm about beside myself.
You said you're about – I am beside myself. On the good side? Because somebody offered me a trade. They wanted to send me Brenton Strange in a third for my Oronde Gadsden. I told him to go fuck off.
Wow. I don't think I would have had those stones. I think I would have had
the stones.
That's the quintessential tight ends don't matter, just accept, because you just get the third, you get another tight end.
I looked at that process and I went, fuck that process. I'm
Dude,
rolling Oronde Gadsden for at least another week, baby.
Also, Gadsden looked like he had a knee injury for a minute. He ended up being fine. He ended up being fine.
It made him
clearly
better.
Fine. Mike, can I tell you, put in a lot of work on these holograms, okay, for those, even if you don't think I'm – every week when I'm like, all right, I'm going to have probably 2 or 3 to get to, it feels like 10. You got to make the entire NFL field this year, because Oronde Gadsden, Mike's got to be tight end 1 on the week. He's 7 for 164 and a touchdown.
Insane. Yeah, I got to find this one too, where it was. Yeah, he said, I'm overpaying for Gadsden. What's your problem?
Can I tell you, the kid's fucking dead right. He's like, yeah, and you know what? I feel for him. Yeah, what is your fucking problem? Mike, you can't come on here and be excited about that other than the fact that the results happened. The process was correct. Just take it.
I had a feeling. I had a fever. The only prescription was more Oronde Gadsden, baby. Let's go, man. We're going up, man.
Well,
I'm gonna go send him immediately after we get off this show. Oronde Gadsden for a first and a second. See what happens.
Just for those people that don't, I only have 1 hologram made, so we're gonna, for the sake of making fun of it. How well did this? How long did this blow up last? Kamani Vidal, huh? I mean,
yeah, you had 1 week. Yay.
Oh, I mean, 9 for 20. They were trailing all game. So.
Yeah, 55 pass attempts. So yeah.
At halftime, I believe it was 20-something to 3, and it just never, got in check. So, I think while Kamani Vidal's a starter, you still play him. You hope for better days, but dude, it's man, this is one of those games where at least Ladd was serviceable today. But I just got to put this out there and discuss this, where if Keenan Allen is going to have, even if he's going to have, let's say, 8 to 10 targets a game, forget 14 for a second.
Right.
Besides the fact that Gadsden has this breakout game, there's not enough, even without Gadsden, and even with Allen being, let's say, an alpha level target, for QJ and Ladd to coexist. And today it's Quentin Johnson that takes the He gets a touchdown, but 2 for 30. I mean, I don't know. This passing offense is starting to feel really hard to pencil in for starting lineups, dude, honestly.
It is. There's not enough balls to go around.
There's plenty of balls. They're just bad ones, you know. Us taking the fucking balls in the face is what it feels like. Because Herbert has a – my thing about this, you tell me Herbert has a day. You tell me Herbert's going to go for 420 and 3. Oh, fire up QJ. Fire up Lad. One of them's going crazy. You know who's going crazy? Me and you. That's it. We're the ones that are going crazy.
Rondé Gadsden and Keenan Allen was the answer to that question.
Quentin Johnson and Ladd McConkey on that day don't combine for 100 yards. Close, but I mean, listen, it was good to see Ladd get 9 catches for 67. Like, I'm just
15 targets. Yeah.
The Ladd ascension to where he was in the offseason, what we thought he was going to be, he's just not that, man. He's just not. He's fine still right now, but he's definitely was in very much overpay discussion. I mean, like, legitimately, him and JSN were going back-to-back picks in startups.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that conversation, whichever way you went, is either really fun or really not.
It's just really fun or really not.
So, anyway, that's all we got for. That's the final game. Mike, the early game was quite a good one. We don't cover those, but I'll just say this for the Jaguars, dude. We were talking about fraudulent. Holy Santa Claus shit, buddy. It's feeling fraudulent. Great day for Travis Hunter, at least, was the good thing, the good takeaway there.
Hey, they didn't lie to us. They said they were going to use him downfield. He was going to have a bigger role on offense. At least we got that.
Well, it came at the expense of BTJ.
Again.
We'll have a next week's discussion. Honestly, next week, for those wanting to know, we have the Halloween recap coming up. There won't be as much discussion like this. It's going to be we'll have plenty of discussion still, Mike, but it's going to be a fun, themed entertainment, chaotic.
Giveaways.
Plenty of giveaways, by the way. There is over $1,000 in giveaways. 4 pairs of Jordan Shattered Backboards. We have all kinds of South Harmon gear and our sponsors, our friends over at Fanatics, certified sh.it, a Chris Godwin, and as you saw today, although he didn't play, a yellow Omarion Hampton jersey. So, Mike, charged up. That's really all I got. Do you got anything before we get up out of here, man?
That's it, buddy. Another crazy week of the NFL in the books. Time to watch some Sunday Night Football again.
What is the price on Gadsden? DB asked this question, and I'm glad you re-asked it because I'll ask Mike on set here. So, what does an offer have to come in? Do you do it for a second?
I think you start to have that conversation about whether or not you do it, right? And it's going to be how you feel. But let's not forget, people pushed Harold Fannin into first territory early in the season on far less.
I'm not forgetting.
Far less.
I think, though, the conversation definitely is a second-round pick. For me, the way I play, I'm ready to send him off for a second because I at least actualized, right? The other question you have to have for yourself, though, is are you the type that's going to end up just taking that second and selecting a player? If that's the case, maybe you don't want to take it, right? So
correct.
It's to me, it's a get off of the value at a second, and now I'm moving the second in a different deal and trying to just take a cheaper tight end. But
any first would be a godsend, and you'd be a fool to not.
Mike, I would send Gadsden in a second for a first.
There you go. I definitely would do that too.
So, I mean, listen, I imagine that doesn't happen in a lot of leagues, but there's your Gadsden conversation. Gadsden, Mike, he's going to have to be making a special appearance next week on the Halloween stream. I can promise you that, buddy. So,
hello.
That's all I got for today. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you are tapped in next week. We're going to see if we can scare the living shit out of Mike and myself and if we even make it through the stream. So we are out of here. Until next week, peace.
Peace.
Finally, breaking ground on the new South Harmon Stadium. We're glad you're here today.
All of those who doubted me, you see like nothing. Today is the day you bow. A book has time to shine.
They're at our doorstep. They're gonna break in. We've gotta go now.
I'm getting spooky tonight. Hey.
Run, 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 run.
We go round the rosy, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall.